We have some real life drama. These are not Reddit stories. These are your stories. And if you want to submit, now is the time to get your story in. The form is open for all of the month of November. It is linked in the video description of every single video. Now is the time, because y'all get mad at me when the form closes. Well, it's open now. So tell me the juicy gossip. Give me the 411.
What is the 411?
All right, so the first one of you, scaredy pants, wants to be anonymous. I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm totally kidding. I want you to submit anonymously if that's what you want to do. I'm just kidding. I have a very wild story for you about recent online harassment that I experienced and still might be going through from an ex-BFF. Let's call her Hannah. Every time I hear the name Hannah, all I think about is Hannah Montana. Naturally. Hannah and I were good friends at one point in the past, but you're so lucky you were friends with Hannah Montana. Shut up, you're being annoying. Hannah and I were good friends at one point in the past, but over the years, I noticed how she constantly spoke negative about people. She even acted this way with her sisters. Sometimes she would like one of her sisters more than the other and literally despise the other one, only to flip-flop the affection later. We're not talking about normal gossip. I mean very hateful stuff that only your worst enemy would say, like making fun of somebody for having an STD, to be clear. Let's just say that her continued behavior and personal expression made me reconsider our friendship and her role in my life as I realized how toxic she was to everyone around her. As you get older in life, I realized that you start taking notes of other people's behavior, of other people. How do you talk about your own friends, like other friends outside of me? How do you treat them? How do you talk about people you care about and stuff like that? You clock all of that. When this whole thing started a year ago, she got very upset at me for confronting her about a racist comment that she made, in addition to making a weird comment about my pregnant friend by asking how big she was getting. I took that personally, especially because my friend was going through a lot of body dysmorphia, being pregnant, as many women do, and Hannah's comment was out of line. Shortly after she made the comment about my friend, I sent her a text asking her kindly to watch what she says about others and explained how it made me feel. Well, at first she said she understood, but a few days later she sent me a text stating how I hurt her feelings and basically sent her into grief. She said my boundaries are walls and she doesn't know what she's allowed to say around me anymore and that I've become too sensitive about things. After this comment, I suggested that we meet in person to actually talk about this, to hear each other out in case there is a miscommunication or misunderstanding about what was said. For the next few months and some weeks, I tried to meet with her in person, but she either canceled or acted like she forgot about our meeting and made sure to mention that she was busy with a girls' night. After some time of dealing with this awkward situation of almost meeting up but not, she sends another text blaming me for not meeting up with her to talk about the issue. It was already confusing and manipulative. I responded to her text in a direct tone, stating that we need to talk on the phone tonight because some stuff has gotten out of hand and the situation is turning into something else entirely. Hannah agreed and we talked on the phone that night for 2 hours. I gave her the floor. She began by saying that she started to feel weird around me a year prior whenever I called her out for being prejudiced. She reaffirmed to me and tried to prove that she wasn't racist by repeating what she said and justifying her actions. I explained that everyone has prejudice and our job is to acknowledge that prejudice that we have so that we can work through it. She did not like my answer and reaffirmed that she wasn't. To be clear, there were other incidents where she also made inappropriate prejudice comments. I went on to affirm multiple times that I cared about her and our friendship and that I never intended to hurt her. We talked about getting together soon and still have an in-person conversation so that I can give her a hug. She agreed, but we didn't make any specific plans. Days after the call, it's radio silence from Hannah and I can tell something is bothering her since we aren't talking. Just when I thought we could repair this issue, things got worse. She starts ignoring me and again I start to feel completely cut off from her. After a few months of this and barely hearing from her, I decided to read the writing on the wall and consider the friendship was dead and absolutely unhealthy. Believe me, I never intended to start any drama, but I did not want to be connected on socials with her anymore. So I deleted her from Facebook and moved forward. Hannah didn't like that, to say the least. Nearly a month or longer after I deleted her, her, she sent me a long, nasty email detailing how I'm a horrible friend, how my son is a psychopath, describing me as a rainy cloud on a sunny day, and made other mean comments about my recent breakup. At the very end, she stated that she hopes I get the help I deserve. I didn't respond to the email and just left it as that, thinking that perhaps it was her last strike before we never talked again. I was wrong. Fast forward to November 2nd, 2025, my birthday. Happy belated birthday. She struck again, and although she started with a sarcastic happy birthday, it was not a friendly greeting. The email says, "Dear, my name, I'm feeling more savage than usual because it is Scorpio season. Oh, happy birthday, cute 34. I see that you still have not accomplished anything. The great thing about this season is that I hexed you. Throw away all your want to be witchy magic. So if bad things start to happen, I am not sorry. You owed me better and I am doing you one better. See your son on Dateline in 10 years. Also, I know you have your rats, so don't let that child get child services called by any means. Might message Steve on your messaging system. You are nasty. Try to turn me in and I will report you immediately. You live in a disgusting house and are honestly disgusting. How dare you let your baby live in a nasty house? That is abuse." She seems like a sociopath. What a wild thing to do on someone's birthday. Like, could have just moved on in life and not been friends. The man she's referring to in the email, Steve, is my son's father. We are not together anymore and never married, but we have a son together. Steve and Hannah work at the same company and utilize a company-wide messaging platform, which allows employees to message each other across departments. Hannah also found my Facebook business page and left a few mean comments under my posts, which were, "You should take your own advice," and "They should know what kind of person you are." I deleted the comments and blocked her. Luckily, I did not see the comments or the email on my actual birthday, thank God. A friend texted me about the comments on Facebook the moment that she saw them to warn me, and a few days later, I was randomly browsing my email to clear out junk mail, and I saw Hannah's name pop up. I don't trust her, and I fear she will keep escalating the situation if I don't do something, by either calling the authorities to make false accusations about me or pestering Steve at work about my bad mothering, which is the furthest from the truth. I do not have rats and I love my son very much. To accuse me of anything else is a blasphemy. Say whatever the hell you want about me, but do not talk about my son. After talking to several friends about the incident, I decided to file a police report and go to the HR department at her company about the situation, since it involves another employee and she is violating company policy by threatening me this way. So today, on November 10th, ironically, a few days after her birthday, I forwarded HR the heinous email she sent me with a brief message describing the situation and a strong recommendation for Hannah to receive mandatory counseling and be placed on a performance improvement plan. And of course, to leave me the hell alone. I am ready to be done with the situation and I hope she doesn't try anything else. But even if she does, then I have started a legal paper trail against her, and after reporting her, I feel more confident than ever. You're gonna need to keep me posted on that. I don't care if it's through this forum. I don't care if it's through Instagram DM. Find me. I need the updates. I need to know what happens with Hannah. Please. I'm sure our audience and our SAS squad would also love the update though, so just saying. The next story also wants to be left anonymous. Bridezilla? Oh, not an entitled bride, but an entitled bridesmaid. Interesting. The roles have reversed. My wedding was a few years back, but I remember some of the ugh that happened when planning it. For now, I'll just talk about, honestly, the worst of it. I had a friend, had being in capital letters, so they're no longer friends. We'll call her Felicia at the time. I was close with and helped her out with some things, and she has stepped up for me in the past as well. Though she also tends to insert herself and invite herself at times, which is annoying and rude, but that was okay. Maybe she was just lonely. Well, when my husband proposed, we agreed on a long engagement so that we can pay for most of our wedding, as well as give the bridal party time to plan accordingly. Everything seemed smooth for the most part. I thought I was an easygoing bride. I didn't ask ask for much help money-wise or physically helping. I don't like being a bother to others. Also, I've watched Bridezilla and read Reddit stories before. I picked my best friend for my maid of honor. We'll call her Jess. Number 1, she's my ride or die. And number 2, she doesn't mind telling me if I'm being unreasonable. And 3, due to some family members, I needed someone who is not scared to be confrontational when I may need it. I then had 3 other friends, Felicia being one of them, as my bridesmaids. One was a single mom, and the other was in so many weddings before mine and has told me stories on the cost of bridesmaid dresses that she has had to buy in the past. Because of that, and the fact that all 4 girls' body types are different, and I just wanted everyone to feel beautiful and comfortable, I told the girls the color and for a flowy dress of sorts, and from there, they can pick whatever dress they will like. Honestly, it worked out fantastic for everyone because one girl had a dress from a previous wedding. The other bridesmaid and maid of honor was able to find a beautiful dress in the low price range that they had. Those 3 loved it, and they honestly matched pretty dang well. Felicia, on the other hand, had issues. She was married before and would make comments on anything that wasn't traditional. For the dresses, she would say stuff like, "At my wedding, all the girls had the same dresses." I would explain that I wanted everyone to be comfortable and in a price range that fits them. Apparently that wasn't good enough, and she went behind my back to try to get the other bridesmaids to go dress shopping so they could pick the same dress together. Why do you care? That is so bizarre to me. Why do you care if my bridesmaid dresses match? That's wild. Of course, they shot her down. She did find a beautiful dress for herself in the end. The other thing was apparently she didn't like that Jess was my maid of honor. She told the other bridesmaid that the maid of honor shouldn't be living far away and needs to be close by. Jess lives 2 states over. Jess found this out after I was told because I was pissed and I needed a friend to talk to, and Jess made the statement of, "We both knew it at the beginning of y'all's relationship that I was going to be the maid of honor." Felicia also didn't like that I didn't want an engagement party or a bridal shower. I didn't want those because me and my husband were already living with each other. I didn't want people to feel they had to spend more money than needed. Also, because we have a lot of family and friends who live outside of state. You know, this is just gonna annoy me more than anything. Because obviously all my friends right now in the last 2 years and next year, I've gone to so many weddings. All my friends are getting married. And it has been so chill. And why can't people just do whatever they freaking want on their wedding days? But also not be a bridezilla. Luckily, I haven't had to deal with a bridezilla. I feel like my wedding would piss a lot of people off if they were the traditional type, because even when I get engaged, I plan on having a very long engagement. I am in no rush to get married. It's just not one of those things for me. It's not like the wedding day is not a priority to me. I just want the commitment and the love and the respect. And it'll probably be very non-traditional, you know? Like, let's just serve some pickles as a snack, you know? Thrift your dress. I don't care. Anyways, don't even get me started. As if you guys are getting me started. I am getting myself. Don't even get yourself started. We didn't feel the need for those. We just wanted family and friends to be able to come up for the joint bachelor and bachelorette party the night before the wedding and the wedding itself. That is what was important to us. Felicia tried to talk my mom, who is on fixed income, to go behind my back and do one anyhow. Yeah, mom did not do that and shot her down. Felicia then found out that we weren't doing a bridal party table at the reception. We wanted a sweetheart table. Although apparently my mother-in-law did not get the memo, so that it can just be the 2 of us and make it easier on the bridal party to be able to just sit with their family and plus ones, such as my other bridesmaid who's a single mom. Felicia straight up said to me, "That's not traditional. You're supposed to have the bridal party sit with you." She said this when she was in our house showing her wedding pictures to me because the damn dresses. She was lucky my husband wasn't there and that it was just the 2 of us. That is when I finally put my foot down. I told her, "This is our wedding, not yours. If you get married again, then you can do it your way." After that, I didn't hear any more issues from her, at least not to my face. And my girls never said anything about it, though I think they all saw how stressed I was getting and that Felicia was not helping with that. Most of the stress was family stress and stress over my own dress. I am now not friends with Felicia for other reasons. I do wish her good health and a wonderful life. I don't think she understands what her actions were doing, but maybe I just look for the good in most people. There were other things that she was doing, but those are the ones that stick out to me the most. Some people are just so traditional and they think you're doing something wrong if you're not having it the traditional way. Like, it's supposed to be, who says? Who says? Let me talk to them. Is there a memo? Let me burn it because I don't care. Unless you're paying for it, you got no freaking say. I'm ranting. I just think wedding culture is so out of control these days. It's like gone past the point of what a wedding is supposed to be about, okay? So stop asking me when I'm getting married. I'm not. I don't want to. No, I do. Maybe one day. Because I need to calm down. Let me drink some water. And you should too. Cheers. Oh, wrong way. I put a little lemon in there today, a little zest. Remember how I asked you guys what long form content you would want to see on my shorts channel, my lifestyle channel, non-reaction kind of stuff? A lot of you guys were saying like vlog style, my Dollarama hauls, all that kind of stuff. So I will be doing exactly that, kind of blended together, if you must know, but it's going to be around like holiday theme and nostalgia and stuff like that, because I'm doing this in real life and I was like, I might as well film the entire process of what I'm gonna do, and it'll be fun for like a first video on that channel. So if you guys are not following and you wanna see more of my lifestyle content, but in long form now, make sure you're following the channel. It's at Life with Joss. There's a hair, a fuzz. It is linked in the video description of every single video. Yeah, go give it a subscribe so you don't miss it. Next story also wants to be anonymous. Am I the a-hole? We will decide. Leah, female 24, and I, female 27, have been friends for about 2 years. We met at a college event and we just couldn't stop talking to each other, even over the loud, blaring music. We became close friends quickly and I had a crush on her too. Relevant to the story, Leah and I are both bisexual. Nothing romantic happens. In fact, I had encouraged her to date her ex. She introduced them as a friend, but I could see that they were crushing hard on her, and when she told me when they walked away for a moment that she had a crush on them, I was like, oh my God, he has a crush on you. They dated for 2 years and Leah and I continued as best friends. Fast forward to the end of their relationship, she and her partner were having a serious falling out. It was heartbreaking and frustrating. Needing to be away, all she wanted to do was hang out with me. We went shopping, to bars, and watched movies multiple nights a week. At the time, I had a boyfriend. We'll call him Nate. Male 25. He was always late to our plans, like 30 minutes to an hour late. My love language is quality time, so it tore me apart. I felt unwanted, not enough for him to prioritize. This insecurity and Leah always wanting to hang out with me, against my better judgment, my crush on Leah came back. One night I was out with my boyfriend and Leah called. It was over. Her partner had left, taken his stuff, and taken one of the cats they had adopted together. Nate and I agreed that I should be there for Leah, so we ended our date and he dropped me off at Leah's. I comforted her and joined her in getting wine drunk, and we had candy and watched a funny movie. Things get blurry, but somehow she's calling a guy to set up hooking up with him. While waiting for the call tone, she leans over, being sat beside me, and kisses me. Oh, but do you kiss her back? Oh no. In short, being cut off from the guy answering the call. She and I had never kissed or anything before. We had admitted to crushing on each other for a little while when we first met, but that was a while ago. I was upset that she kissed me, knowing so well that I had a boyfriend who had even driven me there. I stopped talking to her and I got stuff that I had left at her place back from her via her ex, who picked it up when they were moving out the remainder of their stuff. Yet eventually, Leah and I start talking again. My boyfriend and I had broken up and my upset at her had seemed irrelevant now. I can't remember if she apologized to me. You can't remember? Well, she also should be apologizing to your boyfriend at the time, but your story, not mine. She had many hookups with different men. She got, an STD from one. She told me about them and I told her of my concern and reminded her of self-care and therapy. But I also listened to each story she shared with me about each man. She made a string of bad decisions that led to her getting that. I later found myself doing things close to the same, except luckily my STD scare came out clean. Yippee! Fast forward to the present day, and I have now been seeing the same guy, we will call him Hayden, male 24, for 3 months. I'm not even trying to laugh. I'm just trying to figure out which part of the story is the main part of the story. Like, where is this going? All right, so you're dating Hayden for 3 months. He and I have agreed not to be exclusive though. About a month and a half into our relationship, Hayden comes to me concerned. I get worried. He never met Leah before, but a few days before it was her birthday, and I sent him a photo of her and I out celebrating. Oh my God, did Hayden and Leah hook up? I knew it. Hayden continues to tell me that he and Leah had matched and had been talking, and he hadn't realized it was the same Leah. Okay, so they've just been talking. They haven't hooked up, right? I was shaken for a second. I finally landed on thinking that it was awkward, but also ironic and not something that he could have helped. All that mattered to me was that he told me and that he wasn't going to talk to her anymore. Looking back, what I did next might have been really stupid. I texted Leah immediately and told her what Hayden had told me. I sent her screenshots of their messages and his profile as proof. What I didn't account for is her calling me immediately. I talked with her through her freak out, but also Hayden was there and I wasn't trying to hide it. He wasn't really in the conversation though. Fast forward a month. It's almost my birthday. I invited my best friends, Leah and Audrey, and also Hayden, out for my birthday to my favorite bar. All 3 of them had said yes. Leah and Hayden individually said they were okay with being at the party together and that it would help break the awkwardness. Aubrey had to cancel. So it's just the 3 of you? Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm going and sitting through that awkwardness. That's just me. Audrey had to cancel. I hoped maybe everything would still be good. Things were a little stilted, but Hayden off the bat was nothing but sincere and fun. Okay, well that's good. He bought both Leah and I a specialty martini that we each wanted, playing board games and going around sharing stories. Things seem to be going well. Okay, well don't listen to me ever. I could feel that Leah still felt a little uncomfortable about the situation. She tells me she isn't feeling well, which I think maybe was the explanation for her stiltedness instead. Leah tells me sorry she wasn't feeling well and that Hayden seemed lovely and that she hoped we had a good rest of the night. 2 weeks later, she had been seeing a guy for a week and she invited Hayden and I to double date. We agree and we think it'll be fun. The whole time, Leah and Hayden had this back and forth humor like brother and sister or something. Lots of pretend offenses and pretend arguments and teasing. I thought it was a little extra, but also endearing that they were getting along. The next week, they each separately told me about a texting conversation they had had. The same week, Hayden and I sit down to watch Jennifer's Body, and in giving me a flirty hard time for never seeing the movie, he messaged in front of me to her. They seemed to be becoming friends and I was happy about it. Well, this week when Leah and I were getting drunk at a bar, she tells me that she's never felt comfortable with Hayden since they had matched and he was still on the apps when he was with me. She was uncomfortable that he didn't match with her at first. She was unmatched with him after our phone call that night. Is she being too harsh? Does she sound like she's just watching out for me? Or am I the a-hole for cutting her out when she wouldn't tell me why he's sending her red flags? And am I the a-hole when I asked her to be my friend the same as before, just with where I won't bring up or mention the boys? It's all a little too messy for me, to be honest. There's a lot happening. No judgment. There's just a lot of like men, relationships coming and going and feelings. And I don't know. This is a story that I would have better advice when I was in my 20s maybe, but I'm just not in friendships like this anymore. Like all my friends are married. They got kids. You know what I'm saying? It's very early with Hayden. I don't know. It's weird because why is she being friendly with him if she's seeing red flags? Like, why are they texting? Why are they, I don't know. You gotta be honest. If you're gonna say my man has red flags, we gotta talk about it. So don't cut her out if she's one of your close friends, but try to communicate more before any like harsh decisions are made is what I would say. Let me know what you guys think though. I will see you guys in the comment section because I want to hear what you think about your own stories. This is the Sass Squad. And reminder, if you want to submit a story, do it now. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.